I got my beard cut, and I feel good about it. I think it looks pretty darn amazing. I feel amazing. I think this is gonna be a great show. If you guys haven't joined the Discord yet, do me a favor, check it out. We're having such a good time talking about comic books every single day. We get some amazing community members in there. Join us, talk comics. It's fun. And that's it. Let's go ahead and dive into today's video. What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to the channel. Yes, you got it. It's time for another Wednesday pull list, which is your hype video for a new comic book day, which is either 2 days or just a day away, because I'm recording this on Monday, and I might be able to get it edited in time to get into your hands on Monday. But if not, definitely Tuesday, which will be March 12th of 2024, and new comic day is March 13th. 2024. Guys, we're gonna cover it all in today's video, but the whole goal is just to get you really excited about the comics that are on my pull list. There are so many other comics out there that people are really excited about, but yeah, I just like to talk about what's on my pull list. So let's not waste any more time, and let's go ahead and check out my pull list. Now, as you guys can see, especially the people who show up every single week, this is a little bit bigger than the last few weeks, and it definitely is. I had a lot more books to read this weekend, but it didn't stop me. I read all the previous issues to the books that you guys can see up on screen. Wait, you guys can't see those books, so let me go ahead and throw it up on screen right now. Now guys, there are 21 books on my pull list. That is, I believe, 6 more than last week or 7 more than last week. But guys, if we break down this list a little bit more, there are 3 new #1s. There are 7 DC books, 4 Marvel books, and 10 indie titles. And I'm excited for so many of these books, guys. And I'm so excited that I was able to get caught up on all the previous issues. So that means every single book that you see on screen right now can make the top 3 list, which is really exciting. Now, there are no books on the chopping block. We will cover 1 book in the not top 3, but the books you gotta see that is really close. Really close to making this list, but I'm gonna give it a few more issues. So, with no books on the chopping block this week, let's go ahead and move right over to my cover lever picks. There are some really good covers coming out this week on New Comic Book Day, but I don't feel like there's any true bangers. Like, there's nothing out there that I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get this cover no matter what. But there are some really good ones, and those are the covers that I'm going to share with you guys today. So first up, we have Ultimate Black Panther issue #2 with the 1:25 ratio variant done by Francisco Mobili. Francisco Mobili has 2 or 3 covers on this cover lever list. His artwork is fantastic, really good. And this one right here, featuring Storm, is so good. Now next up is Avengers Twilight issue #4 with the variant cover done by Francisco Mobili. This is really freaking cool. We got Captain America, we got all these soldiers falling down on him, and he's fighting them off by himself. Really freaking good. Now guys, next up is Avengers Twilight, the variant cover done by Daniel Acuna. Daniel Acuna is the interior artist on this book, and this book is so good. And this cover right here featuring Thor, even though I don't love the helmet, but Thor still looks like an absolute animal on this cover. So good. And guys, next up is Fall of the House of X issue #3 with the 1:25 ratio variant done by Nick Bradshaw. This has complete Arthur Adams vibes to me. But it's like, a full body. And Arthur Adams covers are normally just like a head or chest and up. And this just, I don't know, it screams Arthur Adams, even though I know it is Nick Bradshaw. And it's Polaris. It's really good. It's a 1:25. I don't know. It's just so Arthur Adams. Do you guys agree with me? Guys, let me know down in the comments below. Alright guys, next up is another cover for Fall of the House of X, issue #3, with the 1:50 Virgin variant done by Miguel Mercado, featuring Colossus smashing, I don't know, a door, a wall, something. It doesn't matter. Colossus looks freaking epic. There is a trade dress of this in case you do not want to buy the 1:50, so you can still get this awesome cover for, probably $4.99 or $3.99, and it's fantastic. All right, guys, next up is Ghost Rider Final Vengeance, issue #1 with the variant cover in the 1:100 Virgin ratio variant done by Greg Capullo. Huge Greg Capullo fan, and this cover is really good. We got Ghost Rider riding his motorcycle with his chains. It's just so good. So good. All right, guys, next up is Thundercats issue number 2 with the cover B, the cover G foil, the cover H foil virgin, and the cover S, which is the 1 in 25 ratio variant, but is also a virgin. Those are all the different variations of the same exact cover, all really great, all done by Lucio Perillo. It features Chitara. I just wish this book was a lot better than when it was, and we'll get to that in the not top 3. And guys, next up is Outsiders issue number 5. Now this is the cover C variant, which is the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Skylar Patridge. This book is really good. If you're not reading it, you're missing out. And this cover by Skylar Patridge is a home run, in my opinion. It is so good. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Skylar Patridge's art yet, go check it out. She did the second half of one of my favorite books of all time, Resonant. It was a 10-issue series, and she did issue 6 through 10. So good. All right, guys, next up is Black Widow in Hawkeye, issue number 1, with the variant cover in the 1 in 100 Virgin variant done by Artgerm. So good. I've shown this cover before. I don't need to, spend a lot of time on it. This is just a classic, amazing Artgerm cover. There's 2 more covers left to talk about, and they're both for Napalm Lullaby issue number 1 with the cover B variant up first, done by Daniel Warren Johnson. If you guys watch this channel enough, you know I'm a big Daniel Warren Johnson fan, and this one right here is just so fantastic. And the other cover that I really like, again, if you watch this channel a lot, you know I love this cover artist as well, and it is the 1 in 20 ratio variant, which is the cover E, done by Jeff DeCall. Yeah, Jeff DeCall goodness. This is really good. You got Daniel Warren Johnson, you got Jeff DeCall, Napalm Lullaby. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. So, guys, those are my cover lover picks for this week. If there is a cover that you think I missed, let me know down in the comments below, or join us on Discord. And yeah, drop the cover link in the Discord somewhere, probably on New Comic Book Day, which is a whole channel that is just all about New Comic Book Day stuff. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which is the new number 1 that I think you guys just have to be excited about. Before we get to that new number 1, I just gotta take 1 second, guys, or probably just a couple of seconds, and ask you guys, if you guys have not smashed that like button just yet, do me a favor, smash that like button. It helps the channel out so much, and I truly, truly appreciate every single one of you guys that smash that like button. All right, guys, let's go ahead and check out that new number 1. There are 3 new number 1s on my pull list. We're going to cover 2 rather quickly. In the last one, I'll go into a little bit more detail and read that full synopsis. But guys, the first book up is Black Widow and Hawkeye, issue number 1. Now, this is coming from the writer of Stephanie Phillips and has art by Paolo Valinelli. Guys, let me know down in the comments below if I've actually pronounced that guy's last name correctly. But guys, why I'm excited for this book is because I really enjoy the writing style of Stephanie Phillips. I think she's really great. And this is also celebrating 60 years since Black Widow and Hawkeye have come into this world. And that is just super exciting. And this could be a really cool series. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be an ongoing series, a maxi series, or just like a 6-issue mini. They haven't really said. But guys, if you guys know if this is a ongoing maxi or a mini series, guys, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll pin it at the top so that way everybody knows. Now, there are some really cool variants for this. There is a really weird looking Adam Hughes. There is that amazing Artgerm. The 1 in 25 is pretty good, and they're doing that floating head shot variant, but these are now done by Mark Brooks and not Todd Knock. And the Mark Brooks ones are better, but I still don't really like those at all. All right, guys, next up is Helen and the Wind Horde, issue number 1. Now, this is coming from the writer of Tom King. It has art by Bill Quist-Evely. And yeah, I'm excited for this because of Tom King. I read all of his series, at least the first few issues of each of his series, and this has an opportunity to be really good because his independents have been pretty freaking good so far, so I'm excited for this. I'm not going to go into detail, guys. I'll leave the links down to the synopsis down in the description below, not the comments, the descriptions. All right, guys, the book that we're going to talk about, the book that I'm really freaking excited about is Napalm Lullaby, issue number 1. Now, this is coming from the writer of Rick Remender and has art by Bengal. And this book is probably going to be really freaking good. If you guys are reading The Sacrificers, that book is really freaking good. And if you guys look at the history of what Rick Remender has brought to us as a comic book community, he is a fantastic freaking writer. He brings bangers to the plate almost every single time. So I'm really, really excited about this. And this synopsis is so short and sweet and just leaves a lot to the imagination, and I have a feeling this is going to be absolutely fantastic. I'll make sure I show some of the interior pages that they've released to the public so far, done by Bengal, while I read the synopsis, and this is just going to be so good. A child with unimaginable power is raised to believe he is God by a cult of zealots utterly confident in their moral authority of their religion. The magnificent leader has imposed his will on humanity and created the ultimate theocracy. Join them or be cast out to suffer with the masses. That is all we get. That is all we get. And these amazing freaking covers, all the covers for this are so freaking good. The cover B, the 1 in 10, the 1 in 20, the 1 in 30, the 1 in 40, the 1 in 50. I don't love the 1 in 50 so much. I forgot who the artist is on that. I'll make sure it's up on screen so you guys know. And the 1 in 60 done by Stephen Green is so good. But yeah, my favorite is definitely going to be the Daniel Warren Johnson, the Jeff DeCall are my two favorites. But guys, this series has a opportunity to be so good. It's futuristic, and I think with all the covers, with all the wires, it's going to be probably the deal with like VR or something. Not VR, but like, you know, probably implants. I don't freaking know. I don't even want to put anything out there that's not really it. It's going to be cool. Dystopian future shit. It's gonna be really good. All right, guys, those are the new number ones that I'm really excited about. I hope I got you guys excited about them a little bit, if not fully engrossed like I am. But guys, let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which is the top 3 books that I think you guys should be picking up this week because the stories are so freaking good. All right, guys, sitting in the number 3 spot is an independent. This is from IDW, and it's called Dark Spaces Dungeon, issue number 4. Now, this is coming from the writer of Scott Snyder. It has art by Hayden Sherman. And I gotta tell you guys, if you like horror, like I'm beginning to really enjoy horror books. I think they're a lot of fun, and like they do super well within like the medium of comic books. But if you like horror books and you like stories about kidnapping and terrible things happening to those people that are kidnapped, but then there's like this whole like, you know, struggle of the detectives trying to find the people and also find the person that's doing it. If that kind of story is for you, this book is for you. Now, I have 4 children, and the idea of someone taking one of my children and then putting them in a dungeon and torturing them, but keeping them alive for an extended period of time and you're never able to find them is like one of the most terrifying things I can ever think of. Having any one of my kids taken from me would be just like, woo. And Scott Snyder is telling this tale, what that happens in like this book, and it's so mind-blowingly scary because I am a parent. Maybe it's not as scary for someone who is not a parent, but for someone who is, this story is completely effed. Like, so effed. And it's so good. Every time I read this book, I leave a little creeped out and a little scared, and that's all I want to tell you guys, because I don't want to give you anything else. Just know that is the general synopsis of this book, and it is terrifying. Scott Snyder is so good. Hayden Sherman is like, his artwork is fantastic. Yeah, it is a must-have pickup for, this was almost the number 1 book. I don't think it's there because it's so horror and it creeps me out a little bit. I didn't want to put it at the top. Such a creepy freaking book, but it is so well done. And we only have 2 more issues left because I think a lot of these Dark Spaces books are only 6-issue miniseries, or maybe they're 5. No, I'm pretty sure they're 6. But guys, pick this book up. It is so good. Now, there are some variant covers for this. There is the cover B done by Dustin Gwynn, and Dustin Gwynn usually does like these like very like kid cartoony type covers, and him doing a cover for this book, which is so creepy and crazy, is really good. And then there is the main cover, which is the 1 in 10 version. Then they have like it's a 1 in 50 is the main cover that's a version, and then there's a 1 in 75, which is the cover B that's a version. It's really crazy they didn't do like a 1 in 25. They just went right to 50 and right to 75, unless I got my information wrong on League of Comic Geeks. Hopefully I don't. But guys, this book must have pickup. It is so creepy and good. But we got to move on because this video is probably going to be 30 minutes again, and you guys never stick around for 30 minutes. I don't know why. It's like I'm rambling or something. So let's go ahead and move over to the next book, which is the number 2 book that I think you guys have to be picking up this week because, again, the stories are so freaking good. All right, guys, the book that's in the number 2 spot is another independent. We might not have any DC books on the list this week. Can you guys believe it? I'm such a big DC fan. We got 2 indies in the first 2 slots. Now, guys, this is The Weatherman, Volume 3, Issue number 3. This is coming from the writer of Jody LaHoppe and has art by Nathan Fox. I hope I'm saying your last name right, Jody, because your book is written so beautifully well. And the only bad thing about putting this book on the list right now is that to truly enjoy this book as a whole, you will really have had to have read the previous 2 volumes to really take it all in and enjoy everything that's happening in this book, because it is so fantastic. Now, how do I synopsize or give you a brief synopsis? I don't think what I just said was an actual word. But guys, this book is set way off into the future. We have gone to planets and other places, and Earth is kind of like a cesspool, terrible place. And partly because this virus was set off in this world, and it kind of like turned people into like crazy things. And one of the characters, Nathan, in this book, was one of the reasons why this virus got out. And then he hated himself so much that he had basically his mind wiped and implanted with another personality that was just a weatherman. And he lived his life as a weatherman after that. But then this group of people found him and tried to get the original Nathan out of him. And they do, but he's also battling the fact that he has like both personalities in there. And it's really freaking good. And the villain in this is really good because he just wants to like destroy all mankind. And he has like this group of people around him called the Sword of God that want to like, you know, destroy all of humans across the galaxy basically and just like eradicate us. Why? I'm not sure why they want to do that. But there is this character that is a person's mind that was downloaded into an AI that was put into a computer that can control this robot and projects a hologram around the robot so he looks kind of like himself. Such a cool idea. He's the guy on the cover that you see right now. This book is incredibly good. It is told so well. There's such deep character moments in this book for all the main characters playing in this because there's so many people trying to save humanity, destroy humanity, and they all kind of have like good reasons to do what they're doing, and it's so well told. It's like such a good book. If you guys are not reading The Weatherman, I highly suggest checking out the first 2 volumes, picking up these issues because they are freaking fantastic. All right, guys, that is the number 2 book. I hope I did a good job. I feel like I was rambling there at the end. It is fantastic. It is such a fantastic book. But guys, let's go ahead and move over to the last book, which is the number 1 book that I think you guys have to be reading this week because it is the best story going on right now this week in comic books. The number 1 book this week is a what if story, or if you're a DC fan, it's an Elseworld story. But it is a story that takes our favorite Marvel characters and then puts them in a place where they're not worried about continuity. They're telling a different story, and this story is set off in the future. We got an old man, Steve Rogers, who loses his powers and then gets them back, and he fights back against this oppressive government. It is such a good story, guys. Be reading Avengers Twilight because it is such a good read. And guys, issue number 4 of this book comes out this week. It's coming from the writer of Chip Zdarsky and has amazing freaking art by Daniel Acuna. And this story is so good. In issue number 3, we saw old man Steve Rogers with his powers back going to the Raft. And the Raft is no longer a prison where they hold villains because of the H-Day. H-Day was this like big day in history where a lot of superheroes and villains died. And it turns out Ultron had teamed up with someone, I forgot who it is, and they killed so many people, like so many. And now everyone lives in like a different type of world, and it's kind of like oppressed by the new Avengers. It's a squad run by the government, basically. And yeah, now there is a underground movement that's come up and they want to basically like stop this oppressive world and they want to be free again. And Steve Rogers is a big part of that now. And it's so good. But Steve Rogers was going to the raft to free basically the head of Tony Stark that was being held there, and they were still using him because he was able to get into his mind. His son, actually. His son was able to use him and like still pull things from Tony Stark's genius mind. So, yeah. We have Cap going there to free him. We got a character called Bullseye, which is not the Bullseye that we know in the past. It's this like marksman for the government, and Steve Rogers gets her on his side. So now we got a new cool Bullseye. And then Thor was in the end of the last issue, and it was so good. We got Miss Marvel. We got, I don't know, there was just so much like at stake, and like we thought it was gonna all go away, and then it didn't, and it was so good. So good. There were so many good things in this book. Be reading this book. There's going to be lots of twists and turns. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 12-issue maxi. If not, it's going to be a 6-issue mini, and we're almost, or we would already be halfway through at this point. I'll find out and put it up on screen somewhere, but this story is a must-have read. The art by Daniel Okuda is absolutely fantastic. This book is just so good, so good. Especially being better than Weatherman and Dark Spaces Dungeon. Those two books were so incredible, but this one right here, I'm having so much fun with it because I know and love all these characters. Captain America, Thor, Miss Marvel, this new Bullseye character. We know Bullseye, we know the whole story of Bullseye, but now we get a new one that's a good guy, and it's so cool. There's just so many cool things about this book. It's fantastic. We need more of this kind of stories happening everywhere, and that's why the Ultimate Universe is so freaking cool and so great, because we get our characters that we know and love just spun up a little bit, and it's great. It's great. I love it. I love it. Alright guys, that's the #1 book that I think you guys have to be picking up this week. But let's go ahead and cover the books that did not make the top 3 list, but are still really amazing reads in the not top 3, but the books you gotta see. Alright guys, the not top 3 section we go over really quickly. I'm going to give you little nuggets of why these stories are good or bad. Mostly good, almost all good. So let's go ahead and kick this off with Action Comics issue number 1063. This is the Jason Aaron run. We get Bizarro. He basically has put Metropolis under a spell which turns everyone into a Bizarro. I don't love this. Not gonna lie. It's not terrible. That's why I haven't dropped it, or it's not on the chopping block. I want to see where this is going to go because I have a feeling it's going to have a cool ending. But the first 2 issues, I'm not loving it. But guys, next up is Batman and Robin, issue number 7. We're still in that first story arc. It's still really good, and Flatline is back, which is, if you don't know, in the last run of Robin, he was put on this island, and he fell in love, or I should say, got a crush, got a girlfriend called Flatline, and she's a really cool freaking character. And I'm really excited to see where this story is going to go because it's so good. Joshua Williamson doing such a great job. Another Joshua Williamson book with Dark Ride, issue number 11. Horror book set in a horror amusement park where the founder has basically sold the souls of I'm not going to tell you. I shouldn't tell you anything more. But basically his park is run because he sold the souls of people, and it's really freaking good. Next up, Fish Flies, issue number 5, Jeff Lemire. This story is pretty good. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's a really thick book, but every single read is really quickly, and I'm enjoying it. It's not a banger. It's not like an amazing story, but it's Jeff Lemire. I read every single one of his books because they're always really good. Next up is Green Lantern, issue number 9. The last few issues were only okay, and the start of this one was a little slow, and then it started to get really, really freaking good again. So I'm excited. Basically, Hal Jordan is stuck on Earth. He has a ring when he's on Earth, but he can't get off. Every time he tries to fly off into the atmosphere and into space, his ring stops working and he crashes back into the Earth, even though his ring doesn't let him die. But that's basically the story right now. He's trying to get off Earth and he's trapped on it, and there's lots of bad things happening around the universe that he wants to help stop, and it's pretty freaking good. Next up, The Immortal Thor, issue number 8. Issue number 7 was really freaking weird. Issue number 6 was really weird, and I don't love it. I really don't. I'm only sticking on till to the point where we get rocks on Thor, because I want to see what that's all about. And if this story doesn't get any better after that, 100% going to be chopped. All right, guys, next up, No One, issue number 8. This is part of the Radiant Black universe, and this is a really good story. Every single time I get an issue of this, because I believe it's a little delayed, it usually takes like 2 months or something to come out, at least it feels that way. It's a good murder mystery story, and it's set in Philadelphia, and it's super cool. We got like kind of like a superhero vibe, but it's mainly a murder mystery, and it's really good. All right, guys, next up is Outsiders issue number 5. Jackson Lanzing, Colin Kelly, crushing it. Such a good issue. And in issue number 4, we got a character from The Authority, which I really freaking love, and it was told so well. So well. Love this book. It's such a great book. Next up, Red Hood, The Hill, issue number 2. I wanted this story to be really good. I read issue number 0 and issue number 1 yesterday, and I did not love either of them. Sanford Green is the artist, and he's absolutely fantastic. But this story does not revolve so much around the Red Hood as this character called Stryker. And she's not very interesting in my opinion. I don't really care about this character. And that's why this book isn't really resonating with me, because it's called Red Hood. Where is my Red Hood? I want my Red Hood. All right, guys, next up is Sinister Sons, issue number 2. This has the son of Zod and the son of Sinestro, and issue number 1 was okay. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible. I like the son of Sinestro a lot more than I do the son of Zod, but it was only issue number 1. So I gotta give it a couple more issues before I really decide if I'm gonna love it or hate it. But right now, just a good book. All right, guys, next up is Thundercats, issue number 2. I was so disappointed with issue number 1. It was written so poorly. The artwork was so not good. I'm not going to say terrible because I don't want to, like, you know, bash anyone too hard. This is a very positive channel. I want to uplift people. But guys, issue number 1 was not good. The covers were fantastic. The covers for issue number 2 are fantastic. But what is going on? Transformers is doing it right. The Energon universe is doing it right. Great creators coming together to relive our 80s nostalgia with these characters that we know and love. Dynamite, what are you doing? What are you doing? Next up, Transformers, issue number 6. I believe issue number 6 is going to be the last one that's going to be written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson. We got Tori Corona, I want to say, coming in. No. Ryan Otley? No. I forgot who's coming in to be the artist on this book. It's going to be fantastic because they showed some of the preview pages that he's working on. So good. I'll find who it is and put it up on screen. But either way, Daniel Warren Johnson is going to continue writing this amazing Transformers story. So much happened in issue number 5. It was so good. Next up, Ultimate Black Panther, issue number 2. Issue number 1 was okay. I don't know why my voice just got so high. I really don't. But it was okay. Nothing like Ultimate Spider-Man, in my opinion. It was still good, still interesting. I liked Killmonger and Storm. They were, like, you know, different takes on the characters, and that was really interesting. But overall, the story just felt more Black Panther. It wasn't different enough for me to be like, oh my god, like it was in Ultimate Spider-Man. Next up, Wesley Dodds, The Sandman, issue number 6. Super fun story. Riley Rusimo is crushing it on the art. It's set back in 1940, and it's really cool. I really like this book. It's a lot of fun. I don't love it. It's not like my favorite book out there, but the artwork is so fantastic. The artwork has this very 1940s vibe to it, and it really helps sell this book. Next up is Zawa. I want to say Zawe, but I don't think it is. But I want to say it's Zawe or Zawa. Guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. But this is Zawa or Zawe in the Belly of the Beast, issue number 5. I believe it's the final issue, or the issue 6 is going to be the final issue. But it's written and drawn by Michael Delanis. So fantastic. It's such a fantastic story, especially if you guys have kids. Read this with your kids. It's basically about humans torturing the Earth, and the Earth has an entity that it sets out to, like, you know, not defend itself, but the Earth has its own personality, its own way to be among us. And we humans are awful to that thing. And like we are awful to the Earth every single day, polluting it and polluting it. Kind of like that, but like a kid's story type version. I don't know. I'm butchering it. It doesn't matter. The artwork, the story is fantastic. Read this book. You're gonna enjoy it, especially if you have kids. All right, guys. That is the not top 3, but the books you gotta see. It's the end of the video, so let's go ahead and cut to the end and find out who won last week's giveaway. Alright guys, we have made it to the end of the video, or at least I have. You guys have too, and if you guys have been watching from the beginning all the way to the end, I'm just gonna say, you guys are the true legends of this community, and I cannot thank you guys enough for sticking around from the beginning to the end. Now guys, look at the like button. If you haven't hit it just yet, do me a favor and smash that like button. And last but not least, the subscribe button. If it doesn't say subscribed, I'm just gonna say, what are you doing? get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notifications, and smash that like button. All right, guys, let's go ahead and cut up close and find out who won last week's giveaway. All right, guys, you guys know how we do this. We got to go to last week's video, and then we copy, and paste the URL in this website right here. And then we hit fetch, and then not anything goes. We always use a keyword filter, and we always use the hashtag I love comic books. You have had to left that hashtag in your comment to get an entry into this week's giveaway. We're gonna go ahead and hit continue and find out how many people left that comment. 64 you did. Holy guacamole. I think that might be the most ever comments on the video and most ever entries into these giveaways. So let's go ahead and find out who won last week's giveaway in 3, 2, 1, and the winner is Bingo. Bago? 1, 2, 3. Now, you left a comment first time here, so congratulations on the 4K, blessings on the future 5K, and thanks for all the info. Hashtag I love comic books. Congratulations, and I totally butchered your name, and I apologize. Congratulations, Bango 1, 2, 3. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right or wrong. I'll make sure I have your winning name up on screen right now. But what I need you to do is to go over to Instagram and slide into our DMs. Our handle will be right here, and give us your address, and I will get your winnings shipped out to you. I actually have like 3 winnings in my closet ready to go, so I should be able to get those out to you pretty quickly. Now, if you want to get an entry into next week's giveaway, you got to do these 4 simple things. It's the same thing as like the last 3 months, 4 months, I don't even know, but let's go over them real quick for all the new viewers in case there are any. Number 1, you need to live in the United States of America. If you live outside of the country and you want to give it away as an A-OK, that's totally cool. Put your entry in and give it to a friend here in the States. Or we can talk about if you will, like, you know, do live out of the country and you want to pay shipping for yourself, let's talk about it in the DMs after the fact, and then we can figure that out. But if not, live in the United States of America and it's all peachy keen. Next up, you need to be subscribed to the channel. And the third thing, you need to leave a comment on this video one right here. And the last thing, it has to have the hashtag I love comic books. And that's it. You're entered into this giveaway. Yeah, and good luck. All right, guys. Now, I am going away this weekend. I am going to New Hampshire to visit my best friend Josh. We're going to have an amazing time. He has like 4 or 5 comic book shops in his area that we're going to check out. We're going to watch spring training Red Sox. We're going to watch the Bruins or the Celtics. I forgot which one are playing on Saturday. We're going to go to some breweries. It's going to be an amazing freaking time. I'm definitely going to have my final order cutoff video, but I do have some other videos planned. Not for this week, or I might have one more this week. Might. Not 100% sure. I might. I'm gonna do my best, but you know, life. So, yeah, definitely FOC later this week. Hopefully one other one. If not, I'll definitely have 3 next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, because I got so much to do. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.